Hi everyone, it's Alex Davidson with you today. Another question commonly asked is anything regarding schools, like how would my kids be accepted in a school in Canada? What if I arrive tomorrow? Like where would I find the right school board? Which school is better? Which one is worse? How the school system works in Canada? Very briefly, we'll start with the basics as usual. Mind you, school systems in Canada, they slightly vary from province to province. Not significantly, but still. Whatever I'm talking today would be about Ontario. In general, say, schooling system in Quebec would slightly be different from the one in Ontario, from the one in British Columbia, but again, not significantly. So, usually, whenever you arrive in Canada, you got kids, you just want to send them to schools, you got three main options. Option number one, of course, private schools. I mean, that's obvious from the beginning, right? Option number two would be Catholic school. And quick remark in here, Catholic does not necessarily mean that that would be a religious school. Usually Catholic school simply implies, in my own apprehension, that kids would be separated. Girls are studying separately from boys, nothing beyond and above that. And option number three, of course, would be municipal schools, free, classic one, right? So I want to focus on municipal schools first. Whenever you're deciding where to live, where to rent your first apartment or a condo or whatever it would be, of course, I would recommend to look for the school board nearby and look for the school where your kids would go. Check references, check credits online. You could always get access to, say, average GPA of a student studying at that school and decide whether it's a right or wrong place for you to settle. Okay, because municipal school is attached to a certain area where you would live, right? You will not be allowed to send your kids, say, 2 blocks away from where you live simply because the school in there is better. So I would recommend, again, choosing a place where to live in Canada, pay high attention to the school, right, if that is important for you. Catholic school works more or less the same, I mean, but they're more flexible, but still quite dependent on an area, right? You will not be allowed to drive 40-50 minutes out of there because the school, say, is much better than the one you got in your own neighborhood. And option number three is the trickiest one. That's the private schools. Because whenever we speak about private schools, that's a general notion for quite various schools. It could be a school right around the corner. I'm still not sure what's going on in there, but from what I can see out of my office window, it looks like they got what, like 2-3 spaces, like offices in there, or 2-3 classrooms, and that is called a private school. Personally, I will not send my kid in there, right? At the same time, there are private schools for the same price where you could find boarding, where you could find lots and lots of additional subjects to the general program, where GPA is much higher, where I would recommend sending your kids, but on average you would be looking at about 1,000 Canadian dollars per month for that private school. So if you got money in your pocket, yes, but I would say, well, much cheaper solution, find the right place to settle, okay? Look for the average GPA, look for the place where to settle yourself, and you would probably gain much more from the municipal school. Free, much easier. And last but not least, well, how my kids would be accepted, say they were not prepared, they were not studying English from their childhood, they got a strong accent, etc., etc. Do not be afraid, okay? Canada accepts thousands and thousands of immigrants every single year. Trust me, schools pretty much in every corner of the country are prepared. Your kids would not be alone. They, if necessary, would be given additional classes in English. They would be given additional training if necessary, but usually kids are kids. They would pick up language probably in a month or so. Trust me, it works. Okay, even though you don't expect it. It works, so do not be afraid. If you got additional questions, look at the end of the video, you got our direct contacts. At the bottom of the video, you got links to our website, and feel free to contact us anytime.